Guys, this is Parm for ProBox Respect. I'm here with Alfie Warren from Frank Warren Boxing Promotions and nephew of world-renowned, I should say, promoter Frank Warren. Alfie, how you doing today, mate?
I'm all good today, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, well, glad a bit of sun's come out as well.
Yeah, it's been really good. Chance to get the shorts on once. Anyway, I've missed it for a little while.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know we've been trying to catch up for a couple of weeks. It's been quite busy on your end, right?
Yeah, I mean, Frank and everyone up the office has been really busy for them. You know, they've got a lot of stuff coming up, and you know, massive fights
Yep.
they're making. You know, coming they've had a very successful year.
Yes.
Coming up towards the end of the, they say season now anyway, but it's always a month off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not even a month off no more. I mean, you've got shows everywhere in August, but with all the big weeks, obviously, it's always a month off in August. And yeah, in that time, it's been very, very good, and they capped it off with a brilliant show in Wales recently.
Exactly.
Absolutely excellent show, and you know, I think it was good to get back into Wales as well.
Yeah.
Have big time boxing back there, and I'm
Yeah,
very,
that was Rigo, right? Good performance. Yeah,
Rigo, you know,
amazing boxer.
It was brilliant to have him there, and you know, there was so much interest, and like with the fans and everything, like rushing towards him and all that. He's a hugely, I mean, they always say like he's you know, his stock ain't as big over here, and he probably ain't as commercially big over here, but you wouldn't have thought it from the arena, you know.
That's right.
When he come out, fans were trying to mob him and everything, so I think he's a lot more popular than what people make out.
Yeah.
It's good to have him. It was just a bit disappointing how the fight ended, you know. I know, like, you know, Jazza Dickens very well, and one of the most nicest people you could ever meet, Jazza, and you know, I was more gutted for him than anyone, you know, but the corner done the right thing to pull him out, you know. That could have been a career-threatening injury, you know.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, it was a broken jaw, wasn't it?
And it was disappointing for the fans and all that, but you know, what can you do?
These things happen, mate.
It's boxing at the end of the day, you know. Injuries happen, and but
yeah,
you know, Jazza will be back 10 times stronger. I know he's
definitely
already talking about having a rematch with Riggin.
Oh, is he?
So you know,
wow,
yeah, that's the kind of guy Jazza is, you know.
Well, like you said, it's definitely opened up Rigo's stock. I mean, he somewhat reminds me a bit like Triple G. I mean, Golovkin has got bigger and bigger, but 2 to 3 years ago, mate, you know, his stock was still rising, wasn't it? And all of a sudden, overnight, he's a big man.
Just needs that breakout fight, you know.
That's right.
I think he peaked too early. I mean, he had that fight with who was it? Nito Donaire, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
And you know, I thought that was, you know, going to catapult him up to there, but you know, I think it was a kiss of death for him, because after that, no one wanted to know of him, because Donaire's a quality fighter.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, dealt with him pretty easy. You know, and but you know, I think now, you know, Frampton's out of the picture. Up to featherweight, I think he's got to follow suit now and move up to featherweight, and I think he can move up the weights. And
does seem to be that's where the big fights are now for him, isn't it?
Of course it is. You know, as a prime example, you know, Zolani Tete, who's just signed up with Queensbury. Yeah. And you know, there was all talks of him. You know, he beat Paul Butler. He was one of the best super flyweights in the world. You know, he beat him there. You know, you had the WBO title, the Japanese guy, as it, and I never know how to pronounce his name anyway. I mean, that would have been a fight.
That'll be even worse.
Yeah, I know. I'm not that good at pronouncing them, but you know, he's you know, that would have been a big test for Tete out there. But like you say, you know, the bigger test is when you move up the weights. You move up to bantamweight now.
And you mentioned also about it's been a good year for you guys, and I think British boxing on the whole, mate. I mean, we got 14 world champions now. We're on a rise, mate. You know,
of course. Yeah. I think everyone's doing such a great job in Britain. You know,
definitely.
And you know,
starting with the heavyweight champion. You know, Tyson Fury. You know, who's
and he's set to be. You know, the rematch should be set for the 29th of October now. I think they've got sorted a lot of all that rubbish out. Yeah,
still in Manchester, right, mate?
Still in Manchester.
Yeah, still in Manchester.
I'm being told.
Yeah.
On the 29th of October, and you know, that's a fight. You know,
it's
a huge fight, but it's good to, you know, bring that fight to Britain. Yeah. You know, and it's you know, you got a chance, and you're getting all these fighters coming over to Britain now. You know, the top fighters in the world. You know, we've had Rigondeaux come over here. You Klitschko, obviously Golovkin coming over. You know, it is the place to, you know, it's the place to be. The UK fans are the best in the world.
And let's not forget, 17th of September, mate. Huge fight. Frank Warren Promotions, Box Nation, Canelo versus Liam Smith. Huge fight, mate. Over in Dallas, right? Texas.
It's going to be absolutely huge. And you know, I really fancy. Do you know what a lot of people say, because they're saying, oh no, because he's kind of your uncle and all that, you're being a bit biased, but I really do fancy his chances. You know, I think
I do too. I like him.
He's really, he's up against it. But you know, I don't see. You know, I look at fighters like Golovkin and fighters like that, and you know, and I just watch them. Even you could argue they haven't fought top quality opposition. There's a reason why they haven't fought top opposition, because no one wants to fight them.
That's true.
And you can tell by looking at a fighter when he's special, and I really do think Golovkin, you know, Gennady Golovkin's special.
He's a special fighter, mate, yeah.
I look at Canelo, I think he's a good fighter, a great fighter, but I don't think he's a special fighter. Yeah. That's the difference, you know, like with fighters there, and I think that, you know, I think Canelo is beatable.
Yeah.
And I look at Golovkin and I don't see how anyone can beat him at the moment. You know, I remember, like, everyone's saying like he's a banger. And I know he's not a boxer, he's a banger. Amateur record's impeccable. You know, I mean, you can't say
he had some 300 amateur fights, didn't he?
You can't say he's not good. Like he's only a puncher, he's not a boxer. It's not true. I mean, his amateur records just proves that. And you know, I remember, you know, you look at Golovkin and then you watch like the fight with Lemieux, and he just showed his boxing skills. And no, he's more than just a banger. The same with Kovalev.
Definitely.
Everyone thought that he was just a banger. He goes up against Bernard Hopkins and outboxes Bernard Hopkins. That just shows you how good Kovalev is to outbox Golovkin for nearly 12 rounds. I mean, you know, I think that like the Russians and all that they get represented. They are punchers, but they are quality fighters. And
there's a different type of training out there, isn't it?
Going back to Canelo and Smith, I think there is a lot of things that Smith can exploit in thinking. And do you know what? I don't think Canelo has had a fighter that's going to put him on it and not give him the space to work and do that. And that's what Liam Smith's good at. He's good at cutting the ring out, and he likes working up close. And do you know the one thing about which is worrying sometimes with Liam Smith? He just likes to fight. He gets hit.
He loves to brawl as well, doesn't he?
He smiles, you know. I think he's just a all and out fighter, and you know he deserves his chance.
Yeah, and let's not forget, unlike Khan, he's you know, Khan was coming up 2 divisions, whereas Liam's a natural 154 pounder, right?
Yeah, but that's the difference as well.
Yeah,
that is the difference, you know, and like I say that like Khan went up. What does he say? He went up 2 weights. Really, he only went up 1 weight.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's just classed as a middleweight contest, but I didn't class that as a middleweight. I don't feel
well, it was at 155, wasn't it?
Fights as middleweight fights was just a bizarre one with a weight difference and all that. I mean, one thing I'd never agreed on. But
well, I think it's the same reason we keep hearing this nonsense about Canelo fighting at 155 pounds, but the middleweight limit is 155 to 160. So my argument's always, well, on these forums I'm on, is, well, what does it matter? If he comes in at 155, Golovkin comes in at 159, sort of his weight.
Well, I think the thing that people, you know, what Canelo's, I think, doing is going to these middleweight things, but they're making them weigh in dead on 155. You know, like you say, the limit is in between that. Yeah. The guy comes in at, you know, heavier than that. So what? But obviously he makes it. But listen, when you're a big superstar, listen, he is a superstar.
He is a
boxing.
superstar.
He's a superstar boxer. He's one of the biggest draws in boxing, world boxing, if not the biggest draw in world boxing today. So when you've got that accolade and you've got that title about you know, you can make these demands because people want to come to you. That's where the money is.
That's right.
You know, Mayweather made all those demands, got his own way and all that sort of stuff. But he earned. Listen, you want to earn that money, you do what they got to say. Yeah. But the difference with this one is that Liam Smith is the defending champion.
That's right.
So it's not going to be no you know, not on my terms and all that sort of stuff, all that rubbish about he should be first bidding. So what?
Mate, and big props to him. He's going over to the States.
Well,
He's fighting over there.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, with fighters like Canelo and you know, Mayweather as well, it's hard to get them over.
Yeah,
it's hard to get like fighters over here unless, you know, you got something.
I'll tell you what, I like the look of Callum Smith. I think he's a quality fighter. And
Brilliant Smith.
yeah, no, his brother. Yeah, his brother. He looks quality, and I can't wait to see him. He's I think potentially a fight with George Groves in the future. That'd be a good fight.
I think he'd deal with George Groves.
I think he would.
I think he would.
He's a quality fighter.
He's a brilliant fighter, Callum Smith. I think that at the moment he will beat any world champion out there. I really do think that he would beat there.
Yeah.
But there's a super middleweight in our stable, should I say?
Yeah.
Who's going to be making waves, and he's back on the scene after all, you know, all this madness with court cases and all that sort of stuff. It's Jamie Cox. And
Okay.
I rate him so highly, it's untrue. And I'll tell you something, they keep going on the way they're going. Callum Smith, if there was ever a collision course of Callum Smith and Jamie Cox, that's just going to be a super fight.
Super fight.
One that I'd like to look at, and there's one I guarantee you, either way, is not going to business. So,
mate, when's you've got a show this Saturday as well, right? The York Hall?
It's not my show.
Not your show. Okay.
Two of my fighters are supposed to be fighting on that show, and
Okay.
Barney Joe Jones and Craig White were supposed to be fighting on that show, and Barney Jones has done a ligament in his knee, which is withdrawn him for a thing, so I will get him back in October.
That's a shame, yeah.
Yeah. Craig, just a couple of problems behind the scenes with Craig that we wanted to sort out, and he'll be out in September anyway.
Yeah.
So with Craig, I mean, he was out the ring 18 months before I started working for him. He made his return in April. Done that. We've been working on some different things. I want to get him into title. I want to get him to title contention fairly quickly. I think we can do, and I'd like, really, the fight I'd like to make for Craig is if he's still hanging about and still got the title, would be him and Floyd Moore. I think that'd be a brilliant. It'd be a brilliant fight to watch. Great. I think that'd be a bit of a small classic, that one, anyway. So.
Well, it seems you're enjoying your role, mate, as a boxing representative, and all that hard work you do behind the scenes at Frank Moran Promotions. Mate, just quickly before we wrap up, is I'm sure you know plenty of people, but is there anybody you want to say a big up to for the support they've given you so far, mate?
I'll just be family, you know. I always say thank you to my family and all that. Like, I've come into, I didn't really. I've come into boxing quite recently.
Yeah.
You know, even though, like, frankly, my family have been in the business for years, I never really thought about getting into it, you know. But I always like to say, thank you to everyone at like Queensbury Promotions and all that, you know.
Sure.
They let me work on the shows. Every time they come over from like behind the scenes, whipping like Frank's shows and all that, like working with the fighters, like the liaison, it makes contacts with me, you know. So
ever fancy getting in the ring yourself, mate, or is it no. Just behind the scenes?
I used to box for Crown and Manor years ago.
Sure.
I say box for him. I used to train down there. I never really got into it. My brother Bobby, my oldest brother was quite a promising talent. Never really followed it up. My brother Frederick's currently in the amateurs now. You know, he's just fighting just down the road at
young lad,
Times ABC. Yeah, young. 18 years old, and I think if he knuckles down and takes it seriously, and don't try and cut any corners, I think he's got a bit of a future in the sport, you know. But with me, I mean, I used to do all the training and everything, and just left school and done what boys did, and not really, just live the normal teenage boy's life, you know.
That's the time, mate. But hopefully your younger brother's going to do well, mate.
Yeah. I think with the right guidance as well, like he'll have me and my dad behind him, and
perfect.
We just strive to push him on and all that. It's what he wants to do. I particularly wouldn't like as your family member. I wouldn't particularly want him to box, but it's good watching it. But when it's one of your own in there,
amazing.
It's a bit thingy, but he really wants to do it, and he's shown that you know, dedicated to it. So I say good luck to him, and we'll just see what happens.
See what happens, absolutely, mate. But mate, listen, you've been a star today. Thanks for your time, and I'm sure we're going to see bigger and better things from yourself and from your fighters as well, mate.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, and let's hope for a great fight on 17th of September.
17th of September, Canelo Alvarez, Lee Smith for the world title on Box Nation. So don't miss it. It's going to be one hell of a night. You know, also we've got, before I go there, we've got on the undercard Billy Joe Saunders defending his world title, and plus Anthony Yard, who's going to be the next big superstar on the undercard as well. So
Billy Joe, mate, another nice guy. His opponent's not been announced yet, right?
I feel he's working on it.
Okay.
He'll be working on it. I hopefully get an announcement. From what I last heard, working on it. Should be an announcement very soon anyway. So.
But that'd be an amazing night of boxing, guys. As you heard from Alfie Warren on Box Nation. Alfie, from me at ProBox, mate, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Take care, mate.
Thank you.